Welcome back, guys. Baby got stacks.
Hello.
We do apologize for, this transition of books. I don't know. We've gotten a little off track, but life has been lifing lately.
It's been. I feel frazzled.
Yeah. I mean, we've had some changes like within our job. There was, some things going on with pipes last weekend. Or this last weekend. I recently have moved and I've gone remote working, so that was like a huge transition of trying to figure everything out. Millie and I are living in a new space. Everything's very new. We're trying to find a happy medium. We're still reading the books. We promise we're getting those done. It's just finding the time.
We'll find the flow again.
Yes. We're not giving up. We're not done with the podcast.
We'll find it. And honestly, having done this for over a year, and this is the first time it's gone off kilter, I'm more than impressed with this.
Same. I'm hoping next month, it's brand new, new start, new month. I'm hoping that we'll get back on track. He has risen. Hopefully we will rise. Reading the books. I don't know how I'm but we're slowly but surely, getting there, and it's been a little harder, by the end of the day. I'm pooped. The last thing I want to do is try to focus on words on a page.
I'm trying to not be awake.
Yeah,
I shower, eat, then go to bed.
Yeah, I've definitely been tired more lately.
Yeah.
It definitely helped this last week because the book that we just finished reading was on Kindle Unlimited. So I just read it in bed while I was laying down.
Nice.
That's helped tremendously. But yeah, hopefully next month we'll get back into the groove. We'll see what happens.
Don't yell at us. We'll probably cry.
Oh, I 110% would cry. This is not an if, and, or but. That's happening.
But we're here to do Emily Wilde's Encyclopaedia of Faeries by Heather Fawcett. This is book 1 in the Emily Wilde series. The second one is nearly out.
Was this her first book ever?
I want to say yes, since I had never heard of her before. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. The second book is going to be called Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands. Let me see that when that's going to be released, because I keep seeing a lot about it, but it confuses me on whether it's actually out or not. But the cover of this is beautiful. Okay, it is out January 16th.
The second one? Oh, okay.
But this year, yeah. Oh, yeah, we had this conversation because I was so confused why we haven't seen it yet in the store.
Well, that's right. And I feel like I saw that you could, because I finished reading it because I'd gotten it on my Kindle, finished reading it, and then it was like, want to read book 2? And I'm like, wait, what? Because I had forgot again that it had come out. Shocking. I liked this book. I feel like there were some parts where I just kind of like skimmed through it. I feel like even though it was very detailed, I don't know, it wasn't the book that made me like, oh my gosh, I want to read every single word off of all the pages. Like, it didn't captivate me that much. I think I still gave it a 4 out of 5 because it still was I gave it a 4 out of 5. Out of the fantasy books that we've read in the past, I definitely think I gravitated towards this more because I do like the whole like fairy aspect of it.
Right.
And the magicness. I like that part, I think, a lot more than like the academia fantasy that we've
Yeah.
read in the past.
Yeah. I also gave it a 4 out of 5. It didn't have me completely captivated, but it is a fantasy romance, and having that aspect of romance did help a little bit because it is about like two researchers, and it did kind of have that not quite forbidden and not quite enemies to lovers, but it was still fun for me because fairies and
Yeah.
learning about that world, and there's still more to learn, and so I could see myself reading the second book, learning more and more about that other world because Emily Wilde is a human. She's researching about the fairies, so you're learning along with her, and she's like completely dedicated herself to learning about the fairies. She knows a lot about the fairies, and she's just trying to make this encyclopedia all by her lonesome. And this book has footnotes, which I liked. It was fun. It made it seem like more of like a realistic book, kind of like you're reading an actual like research paper, almost like an
Yeah.
actual academic journal.
And I felt like it was easier to comprehend and keep track of the different types of fairies because I feel like it's very easy for books like this that have a lot of different dialogue and a lot of different characters in it to kind of all of it just kind of get muddy and
Yeah,
you can't really decipher what's what, who's who, like where and all that stuff, especially when
yeah,
she's talking about, different fairies and some of these fairies live in certain parts of the world and some of them
yeah,
do certain things and so it's hard to keep track of everything, but the way that this book is written in the sense of she's a journalist and a scholar trying to do a research paper and you know kind of have it be brought up with the sense of she wants it to be brought into light of humans learning more about fairies and why they do the things that they do. It was easier
hmm,
to read it like that, and I liked that style of writing, the way that she broke it down that way.
yeah. And I could see like a lot of series that I do like. A lot of the times, the first book is a 4 out of 5, and then the
Hmm.
second, third are 5 out of 5s because
Yeah.
it is the hardest coming into a fresh world. You do have to kind of get the terminology out there. It's mostly the world building, introducing the
Yeah.
characters. It's kind of just like those basic building blocks. And then you can kind of get into more of the storyline into the
Hmm.
second one. So the second one I find it's more enjoyable.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the second one. And these covers are beautiful.
I
I
haven't seen
nearly
the
bought
second one.
the Barnes
Oh,
and
the Barnes
Noble's
and Noble edition.
edition of this
Oh,
book. It's like a white ivory color. There's beautiful florals. Oh my god. I can't
what the
imagine if
second
Fairy Loot did a special
one?
edition of this, what like those like monthly subscription boxes did of
Oh yeah.
these. They must be gorgeous.
Second one's gorgeous too, yeah.
Ugh. And I wonder how I think it's slotted to have a third one already.
Third one is coming out supposedly on February 13th, 2025, called Emily
Okay.
Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales.
Ooh, okay.
So we will see. Oh, she has written other things. Hold on a minute.
Oh, okay. Because in this book, at the beginning where it says, like, also by, it just mentions this and then the second one. Interesting.
Let me see. So she writes, I think, yeah, she's an author for adult and children's books. Um,
Oh.
let me see. Her other most recent is called The Grace of Wild Things.
Hmm.
Uh, that one is like a children's kind of like
Oh,
young
okay.
adult witchy book. Um, I wonder if this might be like her most recent like adult.
Hmm.
This one, another series is young adult. fantasy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy how she writes for like each audience age.
Yeah, I think she writes more for like
Younger.
Yeah.
Huh. On the
Interesting.
back, it says she has a master's degree in English literature and a bachelor's in archaeology. So that makes sense
That does make
with how
sense.
well she can write academic
Yeah.
papers.
I hated writing research papers.
It's not easy.
No, I
And
hated it.
it's not fun.
I guess I could read the back of the book, huh?
Oh yeah. I guess we can
As we got.
tell the class what we're talking about.
It's okay. All right. Cambridge professor Emily Wilde is good at many things. She is the foremost expert on fairies. She's a genius scholar and a meticulous researcher who is writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. Emily Wilde is not good at people. She could never make small talk at a party or even get invited to one. And she prefers the company of her books, her dog Shadow, and the fair folk to other people. So when she arrives in the Hardscrabble village, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce that village. Harfsn Harfsvik? 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 I do apologize. Uh, Emily has no intention of befriending the gruff townsfolk, nor does she care to spend time with another new arrival. Her dashing and insufferably handsome academic rival, Wendell Bambley, who manages to charm the townsfolk, muddle Emily's research, and utterly confound and frustrate her. But as Emily gets closer and closer to uncovering the secrets of the Hidden Ones, the most elusive of all fairies, lurking in the shadowy forest outside the town, she also finds herself on the trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell Bambley, and what does he really want? To find the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart.
I guess this is more of a, I don't want to say cozy fantasy because it's not like absolutely no action takes place, but there isn't like a huge battle or like it's not like an epic adventure or anything.
I think
It's
there
like
could
low
be.
stakes.
Yeah, but there's kind of more of like a battle to the ending when they come and get her from the king.
Yeah, that's why it's not fully cozy mystery because I feel like cozy
Yeah.
mystery is absolutely like low stakes, no
Yeah.
action. So it kind of floats somewhere in the middle because it's not like full blown fantasy.
Mm-mm.
So it's like you want like a nicer, quieter time. You don't want to read like a full fantasy huge book. Because this
Yeah.
is how many pages are you?
It's not that big. I don't think.
There's a little
Oh, a little blurb.
snippet of the next one in the back. 317.
Not bad.
Very doable. Doable.
Doable.
Doable. Doable. And there's like a little romance in this. And I'm sure it'll follow through into the next one. So like I liked it. I enjoyed
I
myself.
liked it. I think it would, for me to give it a full 5 out of 5, I think there needed to be a little more spice to it.
Yeah.
I also feel like, okay, I'm gonna give a spoiler, so we're gonna
Cover your
warn you now.
ears.
When Wendell just nonchalantly asks her to marry him, that was so anticlimactic. I was like, did I just read that right?
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
kind of irked me. That irked me, just how nonchalant it was.
But then if you think about like the kind of person she is, she doesn't know how to people. She doesn't like it felt very her in
I
the sense
guess.
that like anything bigger would probably have gone over her head anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like a casual ask, like that's how she would have processed it in her head anyway.
That's true. I just was like, what?
So
What?
yeah, it could have been, I don't know, a little more romantic, I suppose.
Yeah, I definitely would have
But
changed it up a little
it
bit.
felt a little more analytical. So I get that. But also, this is just like the beginning of the relationship. So I'm hoping in the second one it gets a little more romantic and spicy.
Yeah,
And
hopefully.
because as she also gets more comfortable around him and like learns how to be in a relationship.
I did like the kind of twist that Wendell is actually a prince
Yeah.
of one of the fairy realms. I really liked that. I liked that Shadow, her dog, is actually not like a dog.
Mm.
Um, I really appreciated that. I liked at the end when all the townsfolk who she thought hated her came together and saved her from the king. I liked the twist where the king was like, "No, we're gonna get married." Her chopping her finger off was a good. That was
Yeah.
good. Liked that.
Good.
Good. Overall, yeah, it was a good book. You just kind of get a feel of the town. You get a feel of the townsfolk. Um, Emily obviously is talking about different fairies, why she's there, in that particular part of the world. Um, all of a sudden, Wendell just like comes out of nowhere. They've definitely had this like rivalry type of feel. Both
She at
work
least
in the
definitely
same
felt the
place.
rivalry.
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
Their offices are across the hall from each other. Um, he came with like two of his students who then left. And so they have to work together, and she feels like he can do no wrong. She feels like she can never fit in, whereas he can like talk the pants off of any of the town folk, and
Yeah,
she just
he's
has
very
no idea.
charming. She is not. She's very
No,
awkward and
she's very awkward and kind of just stays to herself. um I don't think she I don't want to say that she doesn't pick up on social cues, but like she's very like adamant about who she is and how she does things. So like at one point one of the townsfolk wanted to like gift her, but she has this rule like that she doesn't accept gifts, and
yeah,
that really
it's
like
just
hurt.
the way she is.
Yeah.
Just if you didn't know that that's how she is, it can come off like rude or yeah, mainly rude. And
Yeah.
so like she doesn't mean to be, but that's just how it really just comes off. And so, she doesn't mean be unfriendly, but she truly just doesn't know how to act any other way.
Yeah, I feel like she has better relationships with the fairy folk. There's one of the fairies named Poe that she forms a bond with. Um, then she learns about this king who is trapped inside of a tree, and she is trying to figure out how to help him escape or rescue him. Because right now, the queen of that realm that they're at is taking children from the town. And it's happening a little more frequently than it used to. And so she's very concerned for the people's well beings. And there's another type of, I don't want to say, I guess, fairy, the channeling,
Oh
where
yeah.
they like swap kids. So, like, if if they're like banishing them, or like
Mm-hmm.
if their child got in trouble, they'll swap them with a human child. And like if the parents of the human child try to kill the channeling, then like their child will die in the fairy realm.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point there's another girl in the town, her and her girlfriend go missing. And so she finds a way to save them. And obviously when she saves the king, it goes horribly wrong because he's like, well, we're gonna get married now. She's like, no, that's okay. You don't need to
Very
do that.
Fiona Lord Farquaad.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and so she's like forbidden to ever leave the castle, and the king's just like, don't worry about it, like your life is like but a glimpse of my life. Like
Yeah.
she's like, no, like you want someone that's going to be pretty, or he's like, no, like I will give you whatever you want because your life is not going to last very long. And she's like, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah. And Wendell comes and like pretends to be one of the like spinsters or seamstress people working on her wedding dress, to like tell her that he's going to save her. And then yeah, he ends up running away with her, and the king lives. I think one of the townsfolk like makes a thing for him, or I don't know, a not a bet, but something. I don't. The end's a little fuzzy. The end is a little fuzzy. It's been a while since
It's
I've
been a
read
little
this.
bit. Been a little bit.
But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. I think if you like,
Yeah.
I think this would be a good start if you've like never really read fantasy.
Yeah, it's a good blend of real and fantasy.
Yeah.
Um, because it's not like a huge epic fantasy. I think it just is missing that for a 5.
Yeah.
But since it is just the start of a series, I think that's why I think the second book is gonna have that. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Um, but I definitely enjoyed it. I'll get the second one. They're gorgeous, so I will definitely be keeping this one.
They're so
Um,
pretty. Yeah, I'll
they're
definitely keep
so
this one.
they're very aesthetic, like that. Like, oh, I forget what the like mushroom or aesthetic that people call it.
Yeah, I did look on Goodreads though, and the second one does have overall a higher rating than the first one.
Ah,
So this
plus it
one's
weeds out
yeah,
like all the
this
people who
one
weren't fans. But yeah,
this one's at a 4.05
wow.
at in total, and then the second one is at a 4.39 right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so this second one is about she just finished the Encyclopedia of Faeries. Um and then he's still trying to find the door back to his realm, and so she's not ready to accept his proposal of marriage. Loving one of the fair folk comes with secrets and danger, and she also has a new project to focus, a map of the realms of fairy. While she's prepping for her research, Bambley lands her in trouble yet again when assassins sent by Bambley's mother invade Cambridge. Now Bambley and Emily are on another adventure, this time to the Austrian Alps, where Emily believes they may find the door to Bambley's realm and the key to freeing him from his family's dark plans. But with new relationships for the prickly Emily to navigate and dangerous folk lurking in every forest and hollow, she must unravel the mysterious workings of fairy doors and of her own heart. So that was one of the things. Bambley's mom killed all of his siblings and then exiled him. Lovely family.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But yeah, this one.
Toyota-sama
Oh,
Rowdy
Roddy,
1 stars.
I thought my cat's
Curious
been
to see what people.
having you can wait. She like sits by her she sits by her toy like, mother. Okay. So this book is at a 4.05 stars, 74,932 ratings. It's at a mostly 4-star. Let's see. Let's see what these 1 stars are. Let me see. People just didn't like the setting of it.
Oh,
Let me see.
of outside.
I think like this one person goes really into detail about like didn't like the abuse of children
Oh, well, I
Um,
guess. And like read trigger warning.
she thinks that it's like a direct comparison to how autistic children are framed.
What?
I don't know. That one, a lot of these people like really write like a ton of things that I honestly am not I'm not trying to get into. Um Felt like the book spat into my face every other page. I don't understand that. These are not good one reviews. I'm sorry, but all these people just make no
Weird.
sense.
Huh.
Yeah, the beginning starts out cute, and by 150 pages in, you're halfway through it, and you think this is so bad. I have to know how she wraps this up. A self-absorbed character, a male main character who's just a jerk. Um, Deadly slow, and the writing felt stiff. Someone just wrote no. Yeah, possibly one of the worst books I fought to finish. None of it made sense. Background stories, definitions, terms just seemed haphazard. I would have put this down, but I had 5-hour train ride and nothing else to do, but I was mainly just bored. Dull. Yeah.
Huh.
Someone, I think this is middle grade. Did it have any sex scenes? I think not.
Oh, well. They need to read a different type of book then.
A lot of people thought it was just boring. The award for the most boring book I've read in 2024 goes to too much info dumb.
Well, it's the first book in a series, so it kind of has to.
Yeah. Those weren't exciting.
And I mean, it's mostly the fantasy. Romance was just kind of a side.
There's not, yeah. It's more just fantasy.
Those were kind of lame.
I know.
I feel like most of those people were just like religious people not liking a fantasy book. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
I
just have a
don't.
problem with fantasy things.
I think you have to be. It definitely takes a certain mind to like fantasy books. I think you take a little bit longer to read because I mean you're learning something. You're trying to figure
learn
out
this new world.
Yeah, what things meant, why they do things that they do. You know, it's not just humans, it's, you know, fairies in that type of world, they do things a lot differently. And so you're learning all different things. And so I think sometimes it can just get a little like overboard for some people.
Yeah. And I thought she did that pretty well.
I liked the way that she wrote
well
it.
organized. I didn't think any of the newer terms or anything were difficult to follow or anything.
No, I could understand the characters and their terminology. I feel like in Akhtar, I was like, I have no idea how to pronounce that, and
there was a lot coming at you.
Yeah.
Also, those are like really thick books, so it's like not a whole lot of time to catch up.
Someday I'm gonna read all of them. I own them all, so we'll get there eventually.
We'll get there eventually. Oh Lord. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for our little catch up episode. Like and follow wherever you're listening to this. And you should go follow us on our Instagram at Baby Got Stacks Podcast. You can check out our schedule. I'll be dropping the April schedule soon. That's crazy. Wild. Yeah. So wild. And in the bio, there's a link to where else we are at, like our Goodreads. You can see what else we're reading. We do that sometimes. Other reading. Now we are gonna record this week's episode.
Pretty excited about it.
It's my birthday pick. I've been wanting to read this for so long. I'm so glad I finally read it. The little things in life.
Man. And she did like our original post.
She did. You should go check it out.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
So excited.
so excited.
I'm
Yeah.
so
We're definitely getting into we're ending it on the thriller mystery. So go and check that one out, which we will be recording right now.
right now.
Now.
Okay.
Bye.